All right, here we are this morning. It's coming up on 7 a.m. We got an absolutely really good looking sunrise this morning. And I'm out here at the old fly field getting ready to set up. So I figured I'd go through, hey, what does it take to actually get this thing in the air? First thing, check your weather forecast, right? You want to make sure you got favorable winds. Gusts aren't too high. Obviously no storms. Today we're forecasted for about 8 miles an hour, 6 to 8, with gusts up to 12 to 13, which is all good. So you can see I've got my windsock set up. We got winds due east, and right now we're about 5, which is going to be a great forward launch. We're going to be taking off straight into the east, and we're going to get this thing set up. So what I like to do is make sure that I do a good pre-flight at the house before I even get to the field. And then when I get to the field, I don't have to do a whole lot, except for, you know, double check everything. Make sure you're happy with it. But I'm gonna get this machine set up and start the engine and put a little heat into the engine, which is recommended by Viterazzi. And I can start this machine right here on the trailer, because it's still strapped down, and I'll just hold the front gently. And then after that, we'll go set the wing up and we'll get in the air. So primer bulb is down here. I'll give it 1, 2, 3 shots on the primer. Ignition switch on. Nothing is in the way of my prop. Get my throttle, and we'll go. You gotta love electric start. It's just sweet. So we'll let this thing idle for a little while, and then we'll, you know, probably pick it up to 3,000-4,000 RPM just for a minute or so, and that'll be good. We'll set the wing up, we'll tie into it, and then we'll go. Alright, that's going to be good enough. And we'll do a full throttle, full speed shot right before we get ready to go. So that is not the entire warm-up, but that's just making sure that it's good to go. Put a little heat into it before we start it and run it up to full throttle. Make sure all your straps are off, everything's clear. That looks good. Buckles are loose. Yes, that looks good. Ignition switch remains on. Yeah, we're good. So again, we're gonna look at the windsock. Yeah, that's pretty much a no-brainer. We're gonna go this way. So we can set the wing up right here. We don't even have to go far. So let's get this set up. This is a Dudek Hadron 1.1, which is their reincarnation of the original Hadron. I had never flew the original Hadron, but I really like this wing. It's a size 22. For me, it works out really well. I'm 187 pounds. The Virus, fully loaded with fuel and my reserve and everything else on it, is about 84 pounds or so. So I'm fairly loaded on this wing, and it performs very nicely with the loading that I have on it. I don't think I would go down to a 20. I think that might be a little bit too much. So, you know, lay out your wing, do it right. Laying out your wing the right way and taking your time makes for a good launch. Really, the two most important things you're gonna do, besides make sure your motor is right, is take off and land. So you might as well take your time and make sure you do it right. There is no reason to rush. Whether you're gonna miss the sunrise or your buddy's already in the air, none of it really matters. The important thing is doing it right. So again, we're gonna get this set up by laying it out to the wind, and then we're going to clear all the lines, which I'm going to do now. Make sure we're not all tangled up. A lot of people like to do, you know, like a horseshoe shape with their wing. That's certainly good advice. Get that pressure right in the center. Some people like to fold in their wingtips. I don't really think it's that necessary, but we'll fold them out, make sure they're not tangled up. And importantly, around the wingtips, when you're clearing your lines, is to make sure that none of these lines are wrapped around the wingtip. That has happened to me before, and if you take off like that, you will end up with a cravat, which you'll immediately have to clear, or else you'll be turning in circles and you won't know why. So this is nothing new to anybody here. We're just making sure all of our lines are clear. A's on top, everything else is on the bottom, B, C's, and D's, and we don't have any tangles. And we're also going to check our trims. Trims are pulled all the way in. So if you had a higher wind, you could set your trims at like maybe 1 or 2. I wouldn't go much more than 3, because then you're going to be really having to run to get that wing off the ground. But it is helpful for you know, a higher wind launch, because the wing won't fly as fast off the ground. It won't have as much lift. All right, that looks good. What's going on down here? I don't know what's going on down there. There it goes. And make sure that this was clear to the tip. Yes, trims are in. All right. All right, looking good. Last thing I'm going to do is just double check nothing's wrapped around the tip. It isn't. And over here, nothing is wrapped around the tip. All right, next step is get into your harness. And again, this is not something you want to rush. For me, I have this flight deck reserve, and I like to set my phone up in it and get it ready. And I also fly with speed bar, so I have to make sure that my sister clips are clear when I buckle in, and then I have to make sure that I clip them in to the wing and the riser. So that looks good. I'm going to turn on my GPS. All right, set my altitude to 0. Slap that on there. Make sure my leg straps are not twisted. All right, let's get in. I like to get into this harness right here, right on the car carrier. I think it's a little easier for me anyway. All right, so once we got those 2 straps in, we can stand up and crank it down. Get it comfortable. This particular harness has a lot of straps. But it's not too challenging. So we've got our shoulder straps done. We've got our leg straps done. I have to do my reserve next, which goes up and over. And finally the chest strap, which is there. All right, so we should have the throttle, our carabiners, and our speed bar, which we do. And the speed bar is attached down below. Velcroed in place. Okay, that's looking good. So what I like to do now is I'll grab my 2 sister clips. I'm going to put them together in front of me. I'm going to restart the engine, and I'm going to do my full speed warm up, making sure that I'm not clipped into the wing yet, and that I have my speed bar lines in my hand, so there's no way that they could get tangled up. Alright, that was 8,600 RPM, which is all she'll do. So now I'm going to stand in the center of my wing. I'm going to check that little dot in the center of the wing, make sure I'm centered. Undo my sister clips. Let them hang. I hate these things. I mean, they're great, but I hate them. Alright, now we're going to tie in. So A's go to the outside, which they are. So that is in. And now for my speed bar. I want to make sure it's on the inside of my reserve parachute bridle, which it is, and that's hooked up. We're good. Next riser. Base to the outside. That's good. Speed bar clip. That is also good. Throttle. We need a throttle. Get that on there. Alright, grab our brakes. I like 3 fingers on the brakes. Grab an A. Very nice. Grab a brake. Grab an A. Yeah. Alright, so one last check of the wind. It's right behind me. It's good. I'm gonna pull the risers tight. Alright, we're good. Let's go. Engine off. We're on a good glide. And that is that. Beautiful. We'll take it.